I am Bethany Henderson. I am a 2009 Echoing Green Fellow, and I run City Hall Fellows. Creating a budget is like anything else. It's a guide, but don't get married to it. When I first started looking at having to do a budget, one of my peers from my New York City days had an MBA, and he was one of the first people I turned to, and I said to him, explain to me how you actually put together a budget. And I sent him, here's a list of expenses. What do you think about these? Here's some dollar figures. Do these seem reasonable? I originally started looking at budgets of organizations like Teach for America, parallel organizations. The problem is they are so far beyond where I am, or where I was particularly, that it was almost meaningless to look at $40 million budgets. And I had read a book by Wendy Kopp, in which she talked about how she had to meet some ridiculous multi-$100,000 payroll every 2 weeks. And I said, there is no way I'm going to be in that situation. So the first thing I knew was that I was going to design my organization to be fairly lean in terms of recurring costs like personnel, which tend to be the biggest expense anyway. In terms of overhead, I didn't want to have overhead I had to pay. So I said, all right, figure out the minimum number of personnel we need, and we don't have rent. We assume we can get that comped, or people work from home, which is actually what has ended up happening and works out very well for the nature of organization. What else do you need? And looked at what our program needed, what it required, what basic organizational costs were, website. Literally just sat down and made a list, all the things I thought I would need to run the organization, and then started ballparking what those would cost in a range. So we've refined that budget a lot, and it's a lot of me doing it, sending it back to him, sending it back to other board members, sending it to other people in the field, saying, all right, how do we, does this look reasonable? What else should I include on this budget? What should I not include on this budget? Now, even a year into our program now, we're actually refining the budget based on our last year's experience. What didn't we have that we needed? What did we run on that cost a lot less than we thought it could? So it's a very iterative process, and I think the hardest thing about it was just starting and putting it on paper. The goal is to put something on paper that you can work from.